thank you very much, Mr. B.H.S. Prina, for the kind words of introduction, and Mr. Jayanta Galheva, President of PE, Mr. Banu Jeyaratna, Chairman of the National Issues Committee, and of course my good friends, Mr. Ravi Rupasinghe, Dr. Narendra, and Mr. Sekara, and rest of the head table members and the members and the attendees of this session. It's a great pleasure, and I would like to thank the Organization of Professional Association for having me at this important session. So my topic today, as you can see, is Dream Electric. So the subtopic says apologies to Philips Oki and Giorgio Moroder. Can anyone tell me why I am apologizing to these two gentlemen? Anyone younger? Because there is a song written by these two people, Electric Dreams. So I coined the name of my presentation, borrowing the title of the song. So, but it has nothing to do with the song, but Dream Electric is the theme of my presentation today. Unfortunately, you guys seem to be very professional without any inclination towards music. It's sad. I'm saddened by it. So, back to the business. So, Chairman also explained, and Mr. Banu Jeyaratna also explained the direction we should be taking, and actually I'm presenting here the direction we have come in this country from the very early days of 1996. Even though there are so many critiques of our actions, the Ceylon Electricity Board and the authority I represented previously, we have done a fair amount of work in this country, and we are very happy and proud about it. So otherwise, we should have lost our share of renewable energy in the national energy mix by a large margin. But fortunately, we have created the fertile soil for the private sector to make investments, and the private sector also, the likes of Mr. Sabandu who's here, they have taken this opportunity and invested heavily. Not only the businessmen, but even the house owners, they have invested heavily to keep our share intact. In fact, in 2025, if I remember right, we got 55% of our energy from renewable energy sources. So that is not a simple thing. Our countries, our electricity is quite green compared to other countries. So you can see these numbers are from a little bit older before, but things are even better now. But you can see it's on an exponential growth trajectory. And this is the micropower producers, so the solar rooftop scheme, the success of it, as you can see, we have developed large number of projects, 150,000 or so, and this rooftop solar energy alone is contributing about 20% of our national demand. So from installed capacity perspective, we were second only to China. Now we are the world leaders in that share. So there is no other country where solar rooftop energy is that much dominant in the national grid. So you will not hear this on the social media, but these are the actual situation. Then we have this problem. I will just show you that too much sun also is giving a lot of headaches to people who are managing the national electricity. Fortunately, not for me any longer, but we are in a very delicate situation because of these serious and deeper penetration of solar energy in our national grid. I will leave this topic to the experts to have a better view on it. So, but nonetheless, we have a peculiar problem related to our national economy. That is the most important part I would like to share here. You can see our electricity demand growth from 1987 right up to 2023 is the latest data we have. And generally, if a country is developing, this curve should be a curve upwards, not exponentially. There's a peak you will reach and then it will stabilize, but not come downhill. But what are we seeing from 2019 onwards? We seem to be on a little bit of a rise here, right here. You can see if we extend the 2023 line, it goes back to 2018 level. So this is not a normal condition. Because of our COVID pandemic related matters, then the economic meltdown in 2022, our demand has come down to 2018 levels. So where are we now? 2023, at least in this graph. So there is absolutely about 5 to 6 years demand loss in our country. We should have grown a lot more energy demand, but as you can see, year 2022, we got a very severe price hike of electricity, and as a result, 1 million out of the 6 million households connected to the national grid got disconnected. People were unable to pay the electricity, and 1/5 of our small businesses disconnected without being able to run their businesses because they can't afford electricity, and also due to lack of demand for their whatever the goods and services they produce. So this is where the organizations like OPA must come to the scene and explain to the government that we are in a very bad situation when it comes to economy, because SMEs is the basis of engine of growth basically. So if we are letting all the SMEs to collapse due to whatever reason, then we will not have energy demand, and our country, electrically at least, is in about history about 6-7 years behind the actual time. So this is the tragedy we are experiencing. If we don't get this demand growing, our dreams of having economic growth in the country is not going to be realized. So that is my core message here. But Chairman spoke very eloquently about our civilization and our need to have energy source. But why are we hooked on energy? So it's a very fundamental thing. I will quickly take you through some of my older associates here. They must have seen these slides, but it is it's a fundamental questions we have to answer. Why we need energy? So you will not believe me. These are the food we should be taking. Only dried fruits and tender leaf, and we are not supposed to eat meat or cereals or dairy products. That is the truth. We can take all these things, rice and wheat, bread, everything, because we apply a process known as cooking. Without cooking, we can't eat those things. By cooking, what are we doing? We get external help to digest food which are not meant for our digestive system. The raw things available in the nature, these are our foodstuffs, natural food. But we have devised some technology where we can eat food meant for other animals. We are not supposed to go to ocean and catch fish and eat. We are not supposed to kill cattle and eat, but only fruits and tender leaf. But some certain insects we can eat in the raw without any problem. So you immediately will remember your Japanese tour where you ate raw fish. So you didn't die. Why? Because they have some other enzymes to make the food acceptable to your digestive system. But if you eat raw meat substantially, you will definitely have a serious problem. So we have resolved this problem by extending our metabolism by applying cooking energy. We have tamed fire. Then extended range. All of us must have come to OPA using some kind of motorized transport, either a bus, motorcycle, car, or whatever. But originally we were designed to roam in about a couple of kilometers maximum per day and be happy about it. But now we are very unhappy about our country. We want to go to Japan and all the other places. And some people like Elon Musk, they are not happy about the planet. They want to go to Mars also. And some are not even happy about our solar system. They want to attempt intergalactic and solar system travel. So, but we can't do it with our feet alone. We need energy to power ourselves. So the earliest form of energy is wind. We use wind to travel across. And then we tamed animals and got animals to take us to these places. And that is energy. Then we discovered fossil fuel and we started to go all over the place and probably ruin most of the planet also. Then extended hours. And all the animals in the world, they sleep more or less 12 hours a day or 12 hours in the night, and they roam during the other half of the day or night. So bats and owls, they sleep during the day and they are active in the night. And some other mammals like elephants and horse and every other animal, they are active during the daytime and they sleep during the night time. And what about us? Especially our children. When I go on a circuit, I get up at around 4 o'clock in the morning. I meet my son, who is not yet gone to bed. So their sleep pattern has entirely a different thing. 3 o'clock is the normal sleeping time. My two elder children. I don't know. After COVID, that is their lifestyle. So extended hours because of electric lighting and artificial lighting. Because of energy, we have completely changed our behavior. Otherwise, we should be sleeping by now. 6 o'clock is our usual time to sleep, and Mr. Preena is inviting me to do a session. Okay. See my plight. Then our motor skills is most important. We need armies of men to do our work. That is why slavery came into the piece. So slaves, people were not running out of people. They captured other countries, other people, and brought them to America to do sugar plantation. That is slavery. And even before, during Roman Empire also, they captured other nations, countries, and brought human capital because they need motor skills. But fossil fuel changes. Now, with the flick of a lever, you can do the work of an army of men without any problem, but you need energy. So that is why we call ourselves the human race, even though we are an animal species, not a very advanced animal species, very fundamental kind of animal. We are an evolutionary anomaly. We cook and eat things which are originally not meant for us, extending our metabolism. We travel very long distances, I have explained, and we have altered our behavior pattern, not sleeping in the night. And our motor skills have expanded in unimaginable proportions. And the most important thing, we convert other resources. All other animals consume resources as it is occurring in the nature. We apply heat, we do many things to our resources, and we convert them before we eat them or before we use them for other purposes. And we also control the natural elements. Now we have a very comfortable room here, but if electricity goes out and air conditioning stops working, can we live here? We can't, because we have altered the environment even by using what? The energy. So our habitats, we have expanded. Unthinkable places our human race has gone and conquered and living there. Not meant for the human animal, but they are living there by controlling the environment. So in essence, we have learned to use material, labor, energy, and many other inputs and conduct operations and managements and put out goods and services. So have you ever seen any animal doing this? Any other animal? Probably not, because they consume things as it occurs in the nature. So animals, I will quickly take you, they are essentially instinct driven, and we are instinct and reason. Like that, there are so many differences, but I will take you to the last one. Almost all the animals are afraid of fire. We have tamed the fire, and we are making use of fire, which is energy. So that is why we are a different animal species, and we control this world, because we have mastered the use of energy. If you take a further look at energy, what are we doing with energy? I have already discussed these things: lighting up, temperature control, applying heat to make changes, For example, aluminium. It's a vastly popular metal. It is not occurring in the nature. People found a way to mine bauxite and do great many things, apply a lot of energy and get the original metal out of the bauxite, and we are now using aluminium. Can any one of you think monkeys or elephants doing that? They can't, because they don't know how to use energy. So we have considered all these things in framing the national energy policy. So there are I will invite your attention to the blue lines only. Saving energy is the number one. Diversifying of our resources is the item number two. And reaching economic stability by taking care of all the stakeholders and protecting the environment, reducing the environmental impact, and creation of opportunities for our own people to take part in the energy industry. So these are the main drivers: moving away from fossil fuel towards renewable energy, improving energy efficiency, ensuring access and affordability, already done, preserving the environment, and a marketplace for indigenous technologies. So these things ring a bell, known as the Sustainable Energy Systems and Technology, or SES&T is the shortened term. So this will drive our country from the present mess to the dream world we are thinking about. So as I have told you, there is a energy value chain starting from the natural energy resource, crude oil or coal deep down in the earth, like something like that, or just glowing energy or the sunshine. That can be the natural energy resource. Then we do energy conversion and we do so many transformations. We take it to a usable form like electricity and deliver it to a place like this for our benefit. So all these places we have to apply certain kind of technology. And taken together, we call these things an ecosystem, because we need people to run these technologies. So if we master this, we can take our country out of this present situation. Putting it in a very nice diagram, these are the prevalent end users at the top, and orthodox energy resources like crude oil and coal on the left side. But we can, it is a matrix, energy coming from the left side and going to the top. But we can think of newer resources, new energy resources like wind and solar. Because I'm taking only these two things because we have abundant supply of these two resources, and there could be new end users as well. So our duty should be to take out all the existing value chains and plug in new value chains where we can get our own people to use our own energy sources. That is the energy transition we are interested in. So while working at the Sustainable Energy Authority, we mapped these things. What is happening for the simple thing, cooking energy. Now we are using what? LP gas probably. So can we change LP gas to something else? The first choice was fuel wood, because it is freely and abundantly available in the country. So we had a program like that. So every time we convert LP gas using home, we save a lot of money for the country, but we also upset the women of the house, because anyone who cook with LP gas will never go back to fuel-wood cooking. That is a reality we have to understand. Like that, the convenience factor is a key. So we have to always keep on getting in the better and better way, not the other way. So there are so many things you can do to wean our country out of energy, fossil fuel energy. So there are great many enablers in the SES and T sector. For example, the prices. We were monitoring solar energy prices for a very long period, and in 2014, a panel cost about $5 per watt. $5 per watt. It came down to 7 US cents in 2024. That is within 10 years. And completed install system in 2004. I witnessed this in Sweden. Was about $5,000 per kilowatt. Now it has come down to $250 in dollar to dollar terms. So these are great enablers, because what was unaffordable previously has now suddenly become very, very affordable. And phenomenal increase of efficiency. Everything is becoming better. Thanks are mainly due to the Chinese government and the Chinese business community who are investing in these things. They believe in these things and they have taken the technology leadership. And ability to do away with vast logistical network. Now the whole world is suffering due to the Iran-USA conflict in the Hormuz Straits. So that kind of logistical nightmare will vanish the following day if we use local energy resources locally, because we don't have to depend on expensive and very lengthy logistics channels. And no mines, no trucks, no trains, no ships, no pipes, and only the wires will be there. And we are discussing electricity. That is why I named my presentation Dream Electric, because the future energy vector is going to be electricity and nothing else. So I have done some good calculations and found out these numbers. This is applicable for 3 million households in our country nowadays. So cost of electricity for this middle income family, rather low income family, is about 5,100 rupees for 150 kilowatt hours. Cooking energy, LP gas, they will be using 13.68 kilograms of LP gas. Blue cylinder will cost them about 4,000 rupees. The yellow cylinder about 8,000 rupees. There's a massive price difference between these two, I think. So I didn't buy a gas cylinder very recently, so I don't know the actual price of a blue cylinder. But I heard the yellow cylinder is now 7,600 something. Then it will be even more expensive. And a small motorcycle 100cc, the fuel cost will be about 18,000 per a month, decent riding. Entire energy expenditure of this home is about 28,000 rupees. And if we do some investment and convert all his energy requirement by using an induction cooker in place of LP gas, it will add 160 units to your electricity bill, new units, on top of the 150 units. Then for transport, electric bike charging, about 65 units per month for the same length of travel. Everything together, even if you get everything from the national grid, your cost will be about 4,000 rupees less than the present situation. So this is something we learned recently, because our other energy commodities have gone up in price so much. But if you invest in a grid-tied off-grid solar with a battery, you can bring down your energy cost to in the range of 13,000 to 16,000 rupees, nearly half of the present value. So this is the news I want to share with you, with an investment of 2.3 million. So it is not a easy thing to do for a family like this. And I calculate that this 2.3 million into 3 million homes, the number coming out is staggering. 6.9 trillion rupees is required to convert the 3 million houses, and it will increase our electricity demand by about 25% margin. So 6.9 trillion is not within our reach. That is the tragedy. But if they start it, these prices will come down further, and these investments will come down. So all these things start with the word impossible, and then some persistent people will do a lab scale demonstration, then a pilot project, then it becomes feasible. They will now, as I have explained to you, now these things are feasible. We have conducted cooking trials and we are very confident about it. Now it has become attractive also. Then it will in the future it will become a must-do change for a country. And thereafter everyone will want to force it, and we are compelled to do it. But if we act with some kind of foresight, we will do some, these changes will take 20 to 25 years, but if conscious disincentives like carbon tax or tax relief for the equipment is given, these things can be accelerated by a very, very high margin. We can convert many things to run on electricity within about 5 years. So when these things are put in place, we see inputs, knowledge and resources coming into the technology and producing valuable services and goods. So this leads to the thriving economy. But if we allow our people, because there are a lot of bankers here, I insist, that we have to give them money, lend them money, so they will take up these technologies and use them, so the banks can earn good returns also by making these changes. Just like all other things, if there's something happening, everyone will going to benefit. So if our dream of large-scale adoption of going electric is happening, large number of small proven technologies will come into play, just like the solar revolution. Now everyone trusts the solar technology here in Sri Lanka because we paid attention to early problems and solved most of it. But if you take the neighboring country in India, they are finding it extremely difficult to drive a good solar program because they have messed up the beginning of the program. So these technologies should be widely available and closer to the point of use. You can't expect a man in Monraga to come to repair his inverter to Colombo, or at least Kandy. The people will have to be there, trained, good workforce, so the technologies will be usable. And changeover should be easy. So from going from LP gas to induction cooking, it should be a day-to-day skill of the wiring person, the electrician who's coming to your home, should be able to do it without any pain. And if you are to get a skilled team from Hales in Colombo to install your cookware, it is not going to work. Your own village will have to take care of these things. And financing packages driven by the green taxonomy will have to be there. Banks must be forced to lend to this kind of greening technology, and we are very fortunate to report present governor is very keen on having a portfolio especially for greening technologies. So banks are forced to lend to their clientele for greening projects. So that will work. And all the savings and productivity gains are well known and documented. So there will be no room for playing. And if we keep track of these changes, how many villages, how many homes we converted, we will know how much emission reductions we get. So if we keep on doing these things, great many things will happen, and the ecosystem I was explaining to you previously will happen. Then it will become a very normal thing to do. Now these things appear very distant and dreamlike, but it will become day-to-day issues. So climate change investments will be there very much, and fuel switching records and emission reductions will be kept open for everyone to see. And one index I recommend you to keep track is to watch the share of electricity in the total primary energy supply. TPES stands for total primary energy supply. Now it is we started at around 11%, but now it has gone to about 15%. It is climbing. So the day we are near 20% or 25% electricity in our primary energy supply, I think we have created a tide which no one will ever be able to stop. So with that, I conclude my presentation. These things are doable. This Paul Megas in Citron kept a note in his workshop. Everyone thought it was impossible except an idiot who did not know and who created it. So many people will tell you these things are not practical in our country, but there are people here who did not know that it is impossible. So they go and do the change. So we are waiting for those kinds of people. Thank you very much.